So put your hands together for Free, Loose, and Naked.
Hey, what's up? We're Free, Loose, and Naked. I'm Wafik.
I'm Jane.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Rick, and to get us started, we need a suggestion. You were up in your mother's attic, you found this box behind an old dresser, you opened the box, what was inside?
Pie recipes.
Pardon?
Pie recipes.
Pie recipes. Free, Loose, and Naked presents
Pie recipes.
We are in a cherry orchard in Amherst, Massachusetts. And over here, there's a whole copse of trees. Yeah, I just said copse. And they are only red delicious apples. And over here, there's only Sour Patch apples. And here is a fake tree that delineates all the different genuses and stuff of apples and trees. And over here is a workbench station with water and apple juice and a sign that says no alcohol allowed.
George, just looking around the place, and I'm seeing all of one kind of tree over here and another kind of tree over there. Everything is separate, and it got me thinking, I think we could use a little more diversity around here. Maybe something a little different.
You know, I agree. I've always felt that segregation was really overrated when it came to tree culture.
You agree with me, George?
I absolutely do.
Oh my God, George, that makes me feel so much better. I have been sitting on that thought and that feeling for at least a month, George. I didn't know you wanted more colors here too. I would have said it sooner. Oh my God.
Bertram, that's absolutely true. I have always felt that having segregated apple orchard was just somehow it didn't feel right.
Blow me down, George. I thought that you would hate the idea. Oh, literally blow me down, George. Oh my gosh. Just bring it in. Wow, George, it's good. I have really been afraid to express that. I didn't know how you would feel about having more colors, and it just makes me feel good that you were so supportive, and to have a partner that supports every one of my crazy ideas and whims, and it just means a lot to me, George.
Oh, Bertram, we're always on the same page, and so you shouldn't be surprised that I'd like to see some of them green crab apples.
Green crab apples? Oh, well, that's just... I can't believe you were into the same crazy stuff as me. Well, this is gonna work out amazing. We'll just give way in the back over here in the corner. We'll put all the green crab apples. It'll be separate but equal to all the other sections.
They'll have as much room to grow as anybody does.
Well, of course
They'll have
will.
as much sunshine as the Golden Delicious.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let's not get crazy, George. I mean, the Golden Delicious is a far superior apple than the crab apples. I mean, it's just in the Bible somewhere, I'm sure.
They're God's chosen apple. This is the apple
Absolutely.
from the Garden of Eden.
You also think they're God's chosen apple, George?
The Golden Delicious. That's
Oh
why
my
they're
God.
golden and
Delicious.
delicious. That's
George,
right.
I have been sitting on that thought for at least 3 years. Well, you know what else I've been sitting on, George? Well, they're obviously God's chosen people. Or, I'm sorry. Whoa.
People, that's a whole different thing.
Well, I mean, but sometimes the truth does slip if it's organic, but
These are organic apples.
well, that is correct, George.
All our apples are organic.
gosh, George, I can't find anybody else to support me in my ideas like I do you, George. I went down to New Orleans for the NAACP festival, and there were so many different people there, just all different colors.
It's a rainbow.
It's a
A
rainbow.
rainbow of people.
Yes, but no crab apples at all.
No,
None whatsoever.
No green crab apple. You have to come here.
You do,
Here in
George.
the apple orchard of diversity to find green crab apples.
George, I'm going to tell you something. The greatest decision that I think I ever made in my life was when I said yes to you, George.
Oh, Bertram.
Marrying you was the best thing I ever did in my life, George. I love you, George.
I love you too.
We are in, this got a crab apples. We are right across the street in a Whole Foods. And this Whole Foods is fall. The Whole Foods is having a sale on apples. Over here is a display case. And it's got all different kinds of apples mixed together. It's got some of the green ones, the red, brown, splotchy apples. They're all in one long buffet style display case for anybody to come pick whatever they want. In the back, there's a banner which says Apple Palooza. All apples welcome, right here. And over here, there is the checkout counter. And the checkout counter has a clay pot that someone made by hand on it. It's got pictures of different rock concerts. There's a Led Zeppelin one right here. There's another picture of a Prince concert right here. And on the floor is decorated with used CD cases.
Excuse me, ma'am, I have a question about the apples.
All right, here, let me turn my register off. Technically not supposed to leave the register, but...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey.
I appreciate you doing this for me.
Yeah, sure.
I was just wondering, what kind of apples are what?
Well, sir, this is, so these are the natural apples.
Yeah,
That
they're all
means
natural.
They don't have, pesticides, but they weren't
Okay. Yeah.
grown hormone-free, so...
Okay, yeah, that's all good information. All right, my thing is they all look different, so I'm wondering what kinds they are.
Okay.
You know,
Is that a problem, sir? I thought...
no, it's not. It's not so much a problem. It's just I just wanted to know. I want because I know there are different kinds of apples. Like I know there's Granny Smith. I know there's Red Delicious. I know there's other kinds. But I don't know what any of them look like. You know, I usually when I go to the store, they got a little sign that says, you know, what it is. Honestly, it could be a different type of apple, but I trust the store. I put my faith in by walking through those doors, and I follow that through to the checkout.
Sir, is this a coded message? Because I know you have come in every day this week asking me this. I mean,
This is the first time you've responded to me. The other times you just stared at me until I left, and I just felt, you know, I put my trust in this store by walking through the door the first time, so I got to follow through all the way to the register. I haven't gotten to the register yet, but I'm going to get there.
That is the Whole Foods way. Well, as I said with my mind last time, these are the Fuji apples. That's my personal favorite.
Oh, the Fuji.
Yeah.
All right. And
Straight from Mount Fuji.
all right. And are those better than other types of apples?
I personally would say so, but
Hey, well, Linda, here's a flyer to our new protest outside at noon. It's against the new Voter Registration Act, which is going to be totally unconstitutional. Here you go, sir.
oh yeah, I can't wait.
What I see it's a protest against the new voter registration thing. What exactly is the thing that they're doing with voter
Sir,
registration?
have you lived under a rock your whole life?
I just
you
ask
don't know
when I
about-
don't know. I ask questions. I just want to become educated. I'm trying my hardest, but I ask questions, and everyone says, "Oh, sir, you why don't you know already?" And then I'm like, because no one ever says when I ask.
Oh, gosh.
It's happening again as we speak.
Well, I'm really curious now. I mean, tell me all about your childhood traumas, because there must have been a lot.
Oh, geez, there were so many. One morning I went to my parents and I said, hey, all my other friends in school were telling me about this Santa Claus. Could you let me know what's up with that? And they went, oh, son, can't believe you haven't heard about Santa Claus.
Oh, gosh.
And then they just stared at me until I went into the other room. We are in a pit just outside the orchard. It's the bottle throwing pit. It's where all the kids from Amherst go to throw bottles. At the bottom of the pit, there's a lot of shards of broken glass. There's some childhood toys. There's a bike down there. It's all rusted out. A few plastic bottles, and then one buried beneath all the nastiness and junk is one extremely valuable Mickey Mantle rookie card.
I'm so glad we're taking that Sociology 101 class together.
I am also glad to be taking any class with anyone. It's been so long since I've been to the surface. It's nice to have one of the children come down and keep me company.
Well, you know, Dr. Brown is really tough at first, but I mean, really, once you get on his good side, it's fine. Like, you just gotta, just talk about, like, yes, in my backyard, and talk about, the injustices of, basically corporate tax stuff. And he'll really like you. I mean, I got a 75 on my first essay, but then my second essay, 95.
Well, congratulations, Melissa. 95 is a sign of strong intelligence. But
I want to talk to you about the last assignment. I can see you really care about this class and you're giving it your all. I'm
going to take notes on my assessment.
Well, that's really what this is about. I couldn't really give you an assessment because when we tried to take the assignment from you, you said, "No, get your hands off my precious," and then you just sort of rolled it into a ball and caressed it for the rest of the class. And it's not really fair to the other students if I give you a passing grade when they actually physically hand me the paper and let me read it.
So, I mean, the distribution of wealth is really, really unjust. But sometimes you just gotta let things go. Like, you can't accumulate things. You just gotta let the paper go.
Let me stop you right there, Melissa. Because as beautiful and intelligent and supple and young as you are, letting things go is okay. But there comes a time when you've got to take action. And simply being angry to yourself about someone else's plight, watching the news on your Apple TV, and...
So I've gotten some complaints from your team about the group project. Right, so y'all were working with a data set, and you pulled it, you cleaned it up, got it looking real good. They tried to get the USB drive from you, and you said...
Oh, let me stop you right there, Professor. It's one thing to come up with clever ways to remember things with longer names, but to simply marginalize a group of electronic devices with acronyms like USB is the road to self-destruction, and the next thing you know, we'll go from USB to USR to racism.
Thorlock, my son, I am so proud of what you are doing in this college. I understand you are standing up for the rights of oppressed people.
Well, let me stop you right George, that was horrible, George. I went to a Whole Foods, George. All the apples were mixed and jumbled together. I thought, where's my sweet prince? Where's George to come and rectify this foolishness? So,
Bertram, you should never go there. You know, there's stuff, it's not hormone free.
I know, George, but I couldn't bear it. I had to take action, George. And so I moved and I went to the apples and I threw them on the floor and I took all the green ones out and I put them in a corner on one side and I put the red delicious apples in a much more glorified corner on the front, but it was still equal in retrospect to the other apples corner. And I knew you would approve, George.
Did you put the Golden Delicious in the place of honor?
Well, I'm not a heathen, George. Of course I
Well, you didn't mention them, so I thought maybe they were out.
did. Are you questioning my commitment to the cause, George?
No. It's just, I'm sure it was just an oversight.
And over? You think
You mentioned the Red Delicious and
you
you
think
mentioned the grapes, but
you think after 33 years of marriage that I would make an oversight about golden delicious apples and God's place for them in the pantheon of apples, George? Are you testing my resolve, George?
I wouldn't have thought you would have. But maybe you did.
What? Oh,
You failed to mention them.
well, I never. What can I do to prove myself, George? I am still the same woman that you married. I mean, I wouldn't be caught dead with some green crab apples in public, George. Are you serious, George? I mean, you know what, George? I'm serious. I'm gonna take off. And what the hell is this? The brown, the darker loaves should be in the back, George, and the lighter loaves of the bread should be in the front. Is this what you want, George? Does that make you happy?
I want you to be calm and serene in our orchard. You don't need to be so upset just because you failed to mention the Golden Delicious. I can overlook that this time.
Hold on, sweetie. He gave you a warning for not being serene in his orchard?
Yes, he did. He gave me a stupid ultimatum.
An ultimatum? Oh, because his apples are so great? Look, I never gotten this apple thing you do, okay? It doesn't make sense to me, and I think it's gross. All right?